Okay, so hi everyone. Welcome to the talk on intelligence-driven threat actor analysis, BlackBasta and affiliates. So today I will outline some findings from a work-in-progress study which details the financially motivated threat actor BlackBasta and includes an analysis of what cyber threat intelligence can inform security professionals. I'll also offer some recommendations based on the findings to support organizations that may be looking to improve their or advance their cybersecurity program. So, who am I? My name is Dan Hayman. I'm an intelligence operations analyst. I undergo weekly threat hunts in customer environments. I'm responsible for distilling millions of intelligent-led network events into actionable insights and notifications for Centripetal's customer base. So, today, for reference, cyber threat intelligence refers to the concept of creating, analyzing, and contextualizing information concerning entities that may pose a threat to you or an organization today or in the future. Technical cyber threat intelligence may be published in feeds, which cybersecurity organizations like Centripetal typically pay to have access to. These feeds group threat indicator types such as IP, domain, URLs, hashes, the likes together. Technical cyber threat intelligence feeds may be categorized by cyber threat tactics and are generally updated in real time. The speeds at which feeds are updated reflects threat actor activity and the prediction and response of the security community's research. They provide an important tool for cybersecurity professionals to promptly detect and respond to threat actor activity. Operational cyber threat intelligence is information that details the nature, intent, and timing of threats, typically studied as tactics, techniques, and procedures. So, who are BlackBasta? So, BlackBasta is a Russia-linked, financially motivated threat actor, first identified in April 2022, which operates a ransomware-as-a-service model. BlackBasta and affiliates typically utilize novel social engineering techniques and double extortion tactics to carry out sophisticated cyber attacks. For example, employing seemingly non-malicious, legitimate newsletter infrastructure, BlackBasta and affiliates sign up an organization's workforce en masse to overwhelm the target IT systems with confirmation emails. Then, BlackBasta and affiliates may call the workforce directly, impersonating someone from IT and offering a solution to the onslaught of spam emails. Once BlackBasta has achieved hands-on keyboard access, typical subsequent activity revolves around internal recon, lateral movement, privilege escalation before actions on objectives. BlackBasta and affiliates have demonstrated a level of operational maturity, a little more on this in the next few slides, commonly appearing in the top 10 lists of ransomware threat actors, rehearsing and conducting double extortion attacks. Their attacks have a reported minimum 35% success rate, a payout success rate, the largest of which was $9 million US, averaging about $1.2 million US. Short dwell times as low as 2 to 3 days, which is in line with recent reports suggesting that improved detections forces threat actors to maneuver faster. So, recently, according to a Group IB report that was issued January this year, during November and December last year, covering Europe alone, there was a 125% increase in attacks. In this report, it makes them the most active ransomware threat actor for that time within Europe. Possibly one of the larger names who became a victim is the conferencing division of BT Group over in the UK, who confirmed a cyber attack to Recorded Future News on the 4th of December. Since the start of this year, though, reports are that BlackBasta activity has declined. Just 2 days ago, reports surfaced that a group member leaked their internal chat logs on the dark web during the previous week. The leaker claimed they released the data in retaliation for the group targeting Russian banks. This mirrors the 2022 Conti leaks, although not by motive, where chat logs were exposed online due to internal disputes, leading to the group's rapid disbandment. Shortly after Conti's collapse, BlackBasta merged in April 22. History may be repeating itself. Keep an eye on this space, or specifically perhaps a couple of these Twitter handles from ProDAP. So, following that chat log leak, some colleagues over at Hudson Rock actually uploaded all of that web chat logs information into a ChatGPT instance, allowing researchers to explore that data, because it was all in Russian, mostly in Russian. I asked BlackBasta GPT, can you briefly describe the state of operational affairs and team morale based on these chat logs? The response resembled that of a typical startup or workplace. So we have technical issues and workarounds. We have evidence of sense of urgency, where messages reflect an urgency to deliver results, pushing for specific deadlines, tensions and disputes, conflicts over work progress and deception, with an overall assessment saying that there are ongoing technical and logistical challenges, but continuously adapting. But morale, a mix of frustration, pressure, and occasional camaraderie. Just obviously, this is a large language model, so sources should be checked for the actual in the actual log evidence. But perhaps you might draw similarities to your own workplace, hearing about some of these summarizations of the chats. So on to the BlackBasta victim profile. So typically, the victim profile of BlackBasta and affiliates is involved in critical services such as construction, manufacturing, law, and healthcare, having a successful / a wealthy portfolio, and have some dependency on technology to provide their services. So just on to the study. So the objective here is to investigate the cybersecurity threat that BlackBasta and affiliates pose and offer recommendations underpinned by cyber threat intelligence. A bit on our data collection and analysis. So just to discuss though quickly, we selected cyber threat intelligence sources drawn on and analysed in this study due to their reputation in the security community and access to that intelligence data provided via business agreements with Centripetal. The data was then stored on a data intelligence platform and interrogated using Python by cyber threat intelligence professionals and researchers, and authors of an in-press paper, myself included. So, just on to some of the findings. So, regarding some of the technical intelligence findings, so to give a bit of context, in May 2024, the Cybersecurity Infrastructure and Security Agency, so CISA, a component of the US Department of Homeland Security, published a hashtag Stop Ransomware advisory detailing approximately 100 domains that they believe to be attributed to BlackBasta and affiliates. The following domain name IOCs have been taken from that report and used to interrogate our pool of intelligence data. So, first of all, this chart shows the breakdown of domain name IOCs by cyber threat intelligence provider, with each provider represented by a different color. It also shows the first provider to have a specific domain name in an associated intelligence feed. So what we're seeing is that it indicates that if an organization were to rely on a single cyber threat intelligence provider, they would have only have been aware of at most 34% of those domain names published in that report at the earliest opportunity. So this graph is showing, as a breakdown by provider, who had that domain in their intelligence first. And so we can see there's quite a bit of difference. No one's getting all of them at any one point. So so at 34% is what we're seeing that you would have at the most earliest opportunity through one provider. To better understand that threat, the same data can be mapped over time here, focusing on just the months before that Stop Ransomware advisory. The graph depicts a consistent increase in indicators of compromise, as you can see, highlighting unvarying threat actor activity and a continued effort of the security community to detect new threats. The graph also shows that from the beginning of 2024, collectively, cyber threat intelligence providers already knew at least 40% of those published IOCs attributed to BlackBasta and affiliates. This chart now breaks down over time from which provider the domain name IOCs first appeared in threat intelligence. The colours again represent different providers, with the count on the left there indicating the number of IOCs added by each provider per day as they appeared in our dataset. It again illustrates a continuous influx of domain name IOCs into threat intelligence from January to May 2024. 66% of the IOCs that appeared in cyber threat intelligence within 1 or 2 days after their creation. Again, the rapid turnover suggests that BlackBasta and affiliates are highly practiced in quickly setting up infrastructure, possibly for single target use, or likely for single target use. If we take a look at some of the categories of cyber threat intelligence feeds that Centripetal applies, and where IOCs first appear, this highlights the challenge of identifying a threat's intent in the earliest stages of the creation of an IOC's lifecycle. This challenge is further compounded by the speed at which BlackBasta and affiliates may operate. So now, let's dive into some tactical intelligence. We'll analyze a brief excerpt from a report to determine what actions we as defenders can take to stay well informed. So this excerpt comes from an Arctic Wolf write-up. By analysing just these 4 sentences describing BlackBasta methods, we can categorise them and consider our response as defenders. So as I read along, I will add the techniques. So send in a flood of email spam to victim mailboxes with emails from subscription services. We have denial of service. They would then proceed to call victims in a voice phishing attack, posing as IT support. So we've got spear phishing voice and impersonation, under the pretext of offering assistance in resolving the email flood issue. And we've got persuade victims to provide remote access to their workstations through Quick Assist, remote access software. Once given remote access, threat actors were observed executing scripts with curl commands, command the scripting interpreter to download, batch or zip files and deliver malicious payloads. Now that we've identified the techniques used by the threat actor, let's explore some potential controls to mitigate their impact. So the first one essentially is email bombing. So we have reports from the email security firm /Next dated January 13th this year. They described an attack attributed to BlackBasta. I think they said BlackBasta-like tactics. So I don't think they actually identified it as the specific threat actor, but perhaps a copycat tactic there, where individual mailboxes were targeted with over 1,000 emails in a very short time frame. Similarly, in January 25th this year, Sophos reported a suspected BlackBasta affiliate delivering 3,000 emails to a single mailbox within 45 minutes. So, can you currently detect this type of activity? Consider implementing tooling that can include volume anomaly detection. So next, we've got phishing. So several reports again indicated that threat actors were likely using external compromised Microsoft Teams accounts to contact employees through voice and text messages. So again, we need to think to ourselves, do we allow external accounts to send messages on Teams? Or is it restricted to an internal communications only? If external messaging is allowed, perhaps we consider implementing a control. If you don't use Teams, what internal chat platform do you rely on? Could similar social engineering tactics be used in the same methods? Next. What remote management tools are currently on your network? Are they all authorized for legitimate business use? Does your business use of remote management tools allow you to block remote management tools except from authorized ones? Can you detect when a new tool is installed, a new or unauthorized tool is installed or used? So impersonation, is your workforce aware of the official methods IT support uses to contact them? Can they recognize suspicious requests, such as being asked to enter their password into a command prompt? And command and scripting interpreter, can you detect when a command prompt or PowerShell is opened? Does your workforce need access to these tools in their daily tasks? Would employees would departments like finance and marketing typically require access to these sorts of tools? If not, can you restrict their use and instead focus on detecting suspicious behaviors in throughout the remaining users? And then lastly, can you leverage tactical intelligence to block attempts to retrieve malware or second stage executables? Are you able to implement application allow listing on your endpoints to create an additional barrier that might hinder a threat actor? By assessing these controls, you may be able to identify gaps in your defenses and implement targeted improvements to reduce your exposure from these threat actors. So, some short recommendations. The findings highlight the importance of leveraging multiple cyber threat intel providers to defend against threats like BlackBasta and its affiliates. The study shows that relying on a single CTI provider would have limited an organization to only 34% of the domains attributed to BlackBasta at the earliest opportunity. Beyond collecting indicators of compromise from multiple sources, organizations should also conduct exercise like the one we just did in the previous slides to analyze threat actor techniques and identify appropriate controls for their own environment. Additionally, organizations should strive to move up the pyramid of pain whenever possible, making it more difficult for threat actors to operate. So human-led cyber threat intel analysis plays a crucial role in enforcing CTI, helping organizations identify and implement controls that inflict the maximum pain on threat actors. The higher the pain, the higher we move up the ladder, the pyramid, the harder it becomes for attackers to adapt, forcing them to retool, relearn, and reassess, and increase the chances of disrupting their operations. Whilst automation may be essential in these programs, the human-led analysis of intelligence ensures that security controls evolve strategically and pushing defenses higher up this pyramid of pain here. So, quickly to summarize, the study underscores the importance of actionable cyber threat intel tailored to the different attack stages. Effective intelligence must be timely and enforceable to keep pace with evolving threats. And adversaries like BlackBasta and its affiliates may be highly skilled, well-equipped and adaptable, using a wide range of exploitation techniques. But as demonstrated in today's analysis, countering sophisticated threats requires a broad, diverse, and actionable CTI strategy. Finally, that human-led analysis remains critical for applying industry-wide intelligence to better protect the organizations we defend. So that's it for me. Thank you for listening. Here's my contact details, and come and chat with me. I'm here all day and most of the evening. Thank you. Any questions? No? Go for it.
On your recommendations, you said to use multiple different defense providers.
Sure.
Can you give me an example of who and for what, please?
Good question. It really depends, I suppose, on what you're trying to target with that intelligence that you're trying to seek. So, are you trying to stop reconnaissance, which changes as to what provider you might use? But typical big name cyber threat intelligence providers like Domain Tools or Recorded Future generally have very good information, but not necessarily favourite ones at all. But yeah, that is just some clarification.
Thank you.
No worries. Perfect. Thanks, everyone.